The story begins in France, where we see an extremely handsome and luxurious prince residing in his magnificent castle. This prince lacked for absolutely nothing, yet his nature was deeply selfish. He was so consumed by his own ego that he would collect taxes, lagan from the villagers, and use that money to constantly adorn his castle with beautiful and expensive items. At his elaborate parties, he only invited the most charming and beautiful people, strictly denying entry to anyone else. One stormy night, an uninvited guest arrived at his castle. It was an old woman who offered the prince a rose as a gift. However, the prince, judging her by her ugly appearance, instantly rejected the gift. Witnessing his behavior, the old woman tried to explain to him that true beauty lies not in the appearance, but in the heart. But the prince continued with his rudeness and ill-treatment. Suddenly, the ugly old woman transformed into a breathtakingly beautiful enchantress. The enchantress realized that the prince had no love in his heart, so she decided to punish him for his arrogance. As punishment, she placed a terrible curse on him, turning him into a monstrous beast. She didn't stop there. The enchantress cast a powerful spell on the entire castle and all of its inhabitants. But she also offered a way out of the curse. The enchantress gave the beast a magical rose and told him, if he could find true love and that person loved him back before the last petal of the magical rose fell, he would turn back from a beast into a man. However, if this love didn't succeed before the last petal fell, he would remain a beast for the rest of his life. Many years passed after this, and no one even remembered the prince, as the enchantress had completely erased his memory from the minds of all his loved ones. The story moves on, and we are shown a nearby village close to the castle. In this village lived a girl named Belle. Belle absolutely loved reading books, finding a separate world for herself within the stories. In the same village, there lived a young man named Gaston. Gaston liked Belle very much and desperately wanted to marry her. But Belle did not like Gaston at all. Gaston tried hard to convince Belle, but he never succeeded. Next, we meet Belle's father Maurice, an inventor. One day he set out for the city to buy supplies. But on his return journey, he got lost in the forest. Along the way, he was attacked by a pack of wolves. Maurice narrowly escaped the wolves and fled towards the castle, where the beast lived. Upon entering the castle, Maurice found no one. Everything was deserted, but there was a fire lit and a lot of food placed on the dining table. Driven by hunger, he began to eat. Suddenly, a cup on the table began to talk to him. Terrified, Maurice ran outside the castle. He was about to leave with his horse when he noticed many beautiful roses growing on a tree. Maurice plucked one of the roses, as Belle had asked him to bring her one when he returned home. But the moment he picked the rose, the beast appeared and captured him, making him a prisoner. The beast imprisoned Maurice because he had tried to steal his rose. Maurice's horse bolted and rushed straight back to Belle's house. Seeing the horse alone, Belle realized her father was in trouble. She immediately took the horse and set out to find her father. The horse led Belle to the outside of the castle. Belle entered the castle. Immediately upon her entry, a candlestick, later revealed to be Lumiere, and a clock, later revealed to be Cogsworth, started talking to each other. They said, "Look how beautiful this girl is. Maybe she's the one who will free us from this spell." Belle overheard them and frightened, asked who was there, as no human was present. Despite her fear, she moved towards the candlestick and clock. Just then she heard her father's voice. She picked up the candlestick and went toward the room where the beast had imprisoned her father. Maurice was frantic upon seeing his daughter and pleaded, "This is a living, enchanted castle. Leave immediately before that master sees you." But before Belle could leave, the beast arrived. Belle was scared, but gathered her courage and asked the beast, "I want to see my father. Please release him." The beast replied, "Your father stole my rose, the punishment for which is life imprisonment. And once this door closes on someone, it will never open again." Hearing this, Belle requested, "Let me meet my father one last time." The beast granted her request and opened the door. Belle rushed inside, pushed her father out, and closed the door. Since the beast had said the door would never open again, Belle sacrificed herself to save her father. After this, the beast did no harm to Maurice. He took him outside the castle and released him, leaving Belle in the dungeon. After some time, the candlestick, Lumiere, opened the door and started talking to Belle, which scared her again. Then the clock Cogsworth also arrived and assured Belle, "Yes, everything here can talk and there is no need to be scared." Then they invited Belle to come with them. They explained that they were all once humans, servants, guards, and staff of the castle. When the enchantress cursed the prince, Everyone in the castle along with the prince was turned into inanimate objects. But even as objects, they could still move and talk. They took Belle to a room where she could stay, as they all believed Belle might be the girl who could release them from the curse. However, when the beast learnt about it, he was furious with Lumiere and Cogsworth. Cogsworth tried to balm him and said, "Perhaps she's the girl who can free us from the curse. You should go to her and speak to her kindly." The beast grew even angrier, but all the enchanted objects in the castle tried to reason with him. And he finally relented, knowing he was the reason they were all cursed. He went to Belle's room and asked her to have dinner with him. But Belle outright refused, angrily stating, "I'd rather starve than eat with you." Hearing this, the beast lost his temper again. He shouted, "Then so be it, no one here will give you any food." And with that, he stormed off. Then he went to the magical rose, knowing that when its last petal fell, he would remain a beast forever. He saw that many petals had already fallen, and the remaining ones would soon drop, meaning his time was running out. Meanwhile, Belle's father, Maurice, returned to his village and started telling everyone about the strange castle and the beast. But no one believed him. They all made fun of him. Then Gaston arrived and claimed, "I believe you. Take me there, and I will rescue your daughter from the beast and bring her back." Inside the castle, we see Lumiere, Cogsworth, and the rest of the objects preparing food for Belle. To show her their hospitality, they invite Belle to dinner. They all sing a wonderful song as they serve Belle the food. After dinner, they ask Belle to go to her room and rest. However, Belle does not go to her room. She goes to another room in the castle where the magical rose was kept. She was about to touch the rose to examine it when the beast suddenly appeared. The beast was enraged and yelled, "What are you doing here? Do you have any idea what could have happened if you had touched that rose?" He scolded her and ordered her to leave. Crying due to the beast's harshness, Belle fled the castle. She took a horse and started riding home. But on the forest path, she was surrounded by a pack of wolves. Before the wolves could attack and kill her, the beast suddenly appeared and fought them. Although the wolves tried to overpower him, the beast eventually scared them all away. However, he himself was severely wounded in the fight. Seeing him wounded, Belle, despite her reluctance, returned to the castle to save him. Back in the castle, Belle tended the beast's wounds, marham patti, and nursed him back to health. All the enchanted objects were overjoyed, as they all hoped that love would blossom between Belle and the beast, which would break the curse. Next we see Gaston, his friend, and Belle's father heading towards the castle. But in the forest they could not find the path to the castle, which made Gaston very angry. He told Belle's father, "Actually, your mind is not right. There is no castle or beast here. This is all nonsense, so we should go back." He also mentioned, "I want to marry your daughter." Hearing this, Belle's father told him, "As long as I live, your dream will never come true." Angered, Gaston treated Belle's father rudely and slapped him. Then he tied Maurice to a tree and left with his two friends, hoping the wolves would kill him at night. But the next morning, a girl named Agatha, who had been banished from the village, arrived. She freed Belle's father and took him back to the village. Meanwhile, that same morning in the castle, the beast was recovering. Belle read him a poem. Surprised, the beast asked, "Can you read?" Belle replied, "Yes, I love reading storybooks." Hearing this, the beast took her to his library, which was filled with countless books. Belle was ecstatic. The beast told her, "You can stay here if you wish, and from now on, this is all yours." Belle decided to stay, and slowly a friendship began to develop between Belle and the beast. They roamed the castle together. Belle read books aloud to the beast, and the beast even sang with Belle. One day the beast showed Belle a magic book and told her, "By touching this book, you can go to any time period you wish." Belle said, "I want to go to the time in Paris when I was separated from my mother." When she went to that time with the beast, she found out that her mother had contracted the plague. That's why Belle's mother had told her father to take Belle far away so she wouldn't catch the disease too. Learning this, Belle was heartbroken. After that, she took the beast and returned to their own time. On the other side, Belle's father returned to the village and told everyone that Gaston had abandoned him in the jungle to die. But a villager asked Belle's father, "Do you have any proof of this?" Maurice replied, "You can ask Agatha. She's the one who rescued me from the jungle and brought me here." But Gaston denied this and claimed, "This girl's testimony cannot be trusted because she has been banished from the village." He insisted, in reality, his mind is unwell, which is why his daughter also left him. Gaston's friend also provided false testimony, causing the villagers to believe Gaston. Now everyone believed that Belle's father was truly mentally unwell, so they forcibly captured him and put him in a carriage to send him to an asylum. Back in the castle, after the Beast and Belle returned, Lumiere told the Beast, "You should tell Belle that you love her." But the Beast replied, "She will never love a monster like me." But all the talking objects in the castle encouraged the Beast and helped him get ready. Belle was also beautifully prepared. In fact, they were going to dance in the ballroom, as Belle loved dancing. They met and danced while singing a song. After the dance, the Beast commented, "I danced after many years and I had forgotten this feeling." He also praised Belle's dancing. Belle told him that her father had taught her to dance. Hearing this, the Beast asked, "Don't you miss him?" Belle replied, "Yes, I do miss him, but what can I do? I am your prisoner." Hearing this, the Beast offered her the magic mirror and said, "I have a magic mirror in which you can see anyone you wish." Belle looked into the mirror and saw her father, whom the villagers had captured.
Belle became very distressed. The Beast then told her to go to the village. Before she left, the Beast gave her the magic mirror, saying, "Whenever you miss me, you can look at me in this mirror." Belle took the magic mirror and left for her village. All the objects in the castle and the Beast became sad. They began to think that Belle would never return, and their curse would never end. The Beast was also sad because he had fallen in love with Belle. Belle arrived in the village and saw the villagers taking her father away as a prisoner. Belle stopped them and tried to convince the villagers, "My father is not mad. There really is a castle in the jungle and a Beast lives there." But the villagers still didn't believe her. So, to convince them, Belle showed everyone the Beast's face and the magic mirror. The villagers were terrified. But Belle assured everyone, "There is no need to be afraid. The one you think is a monster is actually very good-hearted, and he doesn't harm anyone." Hearing this, Gaston realized that Belle had fallen in love with the Beast. He began to incite the villagers and, frightening them, talked about killing the Beast. He also ordered Belle to be imprisoned along with her father. Following his lead, the villagers captured Belle as well. After that, all the villagers started marching towards the castle. When the villagers entered the castle to kill the Beast, all of the Beast's companions attacked the villagers and started beating them severely. Meanwhile, Belle seized the opportunity and, with her father's help, escaped from the carriage cage and ran towards the Beast. On the other side, Gaston went to the Beast, who was sitting sadly. Gaston approached him and sneered, "What did you think, monster? That Belle loves you? How could you ever think she would love a monster like you? She's the one who sent us here to kill you." Saying this, Gaston shot the Beast, causing the Beast to fall. Before he could fall all the way, he grabbed onto her dome and held on. Seeing this, Gaston was about to shoot again when Belle arrived and grabbed his arm to stop him. During the struggle, Gaston fell down and his gun also dropped. On the other side, the Beast managed to climb back up, and Belle told him, "I tried to stop the villagers, but they wouldn't listen." Hearing this, the Beast came over to Gaston, grabbed his neck, and lifted him up. He was about to throw him off the castle when Gaston started begging for forgiveness and said, "Please spare me." The Beast let him go and said, "Take everyone and leave this place." After that, the Beast began to walk towards Belle, but then Gaston shot the Beast in the back, causing the Beast to collapse. However, the spot where Gaston was standing suddenly broke, and he fell to his death. The Beast was taking his last breaths, and Belle, weeping, told him, "I will never leave you alone again, and everything will be all right now." The Beast said, "My time has come." Just then, the last petal of the rose fell, and the Beast became completely still. Along with him, all of his companions in the castle started talking to each other one by one before they too became silent and lifeless forever. Belle was devastated by the Beast's condition, and she told him, "I love you very much." Saying this, she kissed the Beast. Just then, Agatha, the girl banished from the village, who was in fact the enchantress who had cursed the prince, appeared. When she saw that the Beast had found love, and the girl loved him back, she used her magic to transform the Beast back into the handsome prince. Belle was overjoyed to see him and rushed to kiss him. With this, the entire castle was freed from the curse, becoming a beautiful and magnificent place once again. All the cursed objects, who were once people, slowly returned to their true forms and were happy to see each other. After this, all the villagers also came to the castle and met the staff. The prince and Belle appeared before everyone together. After all the reunions, the castle was once again filled with joy and everyone danced and sang together. And with this happy ending, the delightful story concluded.